team of researchers. So a team of researchers who have identified projects that meet the credible and legal requirements for what a good investment opportunity is. And so they have tested this, and based on their principles, they've decided to share this with friends and families, which is why you have been invited here today. Okay, so once again, I remain my humble self, Itwen. I've been in the maritime industry for quite some time. I always have a flair for emerging technologies and particularly focused on the blockchain. And I also use the opportunity to mentor those who are interested in looking for an alternative source of income, right? So I'll be sharing with you, apart from the updates, I'll be sharing with you information and information that are basically the collective research of the mastermind group. Okay, you will definitely have some information here regarding numbers. This is not meant to be an investment advice because it's expected that you do your own due diligence. However, if you have the reason to want to contact any of the Genius Investor members who took part in this research, you're allowed to do so, and they can give you more guide into what the opportunity is all about, okay? So once again, we are focusing on VOO. And for those of you who were not aware, okay, so VOO had been down for quite some time, and it has been backed up for more than a month. Okay, so you may not have had that information, but you're hearing it now. VOO is back. So your favorite app for travel, for doing your bookings, it's now here. So while you're on this call, if you've not downloaded the latest version, please do so and get yourself updated. So what's been better? It's actually been a lot, okay? And from the last updates, we've had a new provider who is giving us the best in terms of services, and I will explain that in further slides, okay? So again, what may have introduced or what may have attracted you to VOO, right? Could it have been the fact that you can get cheaper bookings, or could it have been the fact that you can earn from people who are doing bookings worldwide, right? If that's your major attraction, then we are back in the game, of course, with this opportunity, okay? And remember, we get provided data from basically a provider, right? So that data can fall within flight routes, flight availabilities, rates, okay? And so all this was offline for quite some time, and that is why we had the challenges with VOO, okay? But now we are back. It's a good thing. And what is better is that, of course, you have a cashback program. And the cashback program basically just centers on sharing this app with your friends. It's free to download with your referral code. And for every time they do a booking on this app, you earn a certain percentage, and they also earn a percentage, which is a win-win for everybody, okay? And now, what's the advantage of this app? Remember, this is something being done on the blockchain. So you have the advantages of eliminating delayed payments and cheaper transaction costs, because the blockchain activities keep running per second, of course, and bookings, which is quite almost a 24-hour activity around the world, require such reward system to be as seamless as possible, 24 hours a day, right? So basically, there are tokens that will be required in order for this to be done, and we are talking about the VOO tokens. So for every time your friend or you do a booking, there are VOO miles that are accumulated, okay? And of course, the VOO tokens that are being paid out are not owned by the company, it's owned by the community, and the community is you and I. So how do we own these VOO tokens? Is by what? One, having a minter, or two, we are booking our apps, or we are sharing this app with friends who are flying, who do fly frequently, right? So part of the revenue that is generated from these flight tickets and reservations on the VOO app are used to purchase these tokens from an exchange, okay? And of course, Zenith tokens are necessary because it's the fuel in this particular blockchain, and that gives you an opportunity for you to take advantage of the decentralized exchange called the DEX, right? So like I said, when this app was down, this cashback wasn't available, and now we now have a better option for this, okay? So if you've not downloaded this, please check on your Play Store, okay? if you're using Android or you're using the Apple system iOS, you can download that. Also, if you are using the web-on, it's now available on the web-on in your normal app, right? So your normal app carries your normal wallet and other special web-ons that give you access to a lot in terms of an ecosystem being powered by the Zenith blockchain. So you can see that there is basically the same login details, okay, that you can use to log in. Whatever you have in the standalone app is the same thing that you have in the web-on. Okay, so the web-on is now available. Okay, so what really changed over the period that she was down, right? So again, usually, like I said, there are a lot of information being provided for us, VOO, the VOO app users, that enable us make fantastic decisions regarding our flights, whether we're looking for flights that are cheap, whether we're looking for flights that are fast, or we're looking for flights that have the best of both algorithms, right? So somebody has to provide that data for us, okay? So what happened then was that the previous data provider went down, and within that period, we were able to meet up with what? Amadeus, which partnered with VOO, okay? So again, VOO is just starting up, right? And then you have the opportunity to partner with a global leader, right? And if you go check this out, Amadeus is a global leader with unmatched market coverage. So we are talking about over 400 airlines with 99.9% uptime, right? So it is the best in what it does right now. So you can imagine the partnership with VOO, right? Transforming us VOO users by delivering what? Real-time global inventory, okay? And so you have an option where there is superior fare, right? You have chances to have superior fare, seamless booking capabilities, and a customer experience that generates profitability for you and I, okay? And so this was born out of the fact that this is a global partner that is the best in the world, is providing the best service, and VOO already has a community that is already using this app. So what better matchmaking can this be, right? Because everything right now in the world is based on communities. And if you don't have a community, then basically you have little or nothing to offer, right? And so one of the advantages of this partnership is that right now we don't need a middleman again, okay? So we have better prices as we are connecting directly with the best in the world right now, which means that we can compete with any other person that is providing this service for us, okay? Any other options, we beat those options right now. And now there are more flights available for us to make our choices, right? So you have more airlines, more routes can now be seen. So imagine you are traveling from France to London and you prefer to want to go through a particular airport, you now have that route being there. If you are traveling between Africa and Europe and you decide to say you want to do a layover or a stopover in maybe East Africa, okay, before you get to Europe, or you want to stop, if you're going to Dubai, the Middle East, you want to stop in East Africa, you have those options now. Maybe you just want to do some connecting flights, and that option is readily available, and that is because of the partnership with Amadeus, right? So good. A little bit about what the GDP is all about. Okay, so you have these options in terms of statistics provided by Amadeus, right? So you have over 2 million choices there. You have 400 airlines. You have a lot when it comes to ground handlers, rail operators, airport operators. So these statistics, right, gives VOO app the ability to compete with people who had already arrived a decade before the VOO app was developed, okay? And so what is the single or double advantage we have over people that have been in this business before? Is that we have the ability to pay with crypto, and we also have a universal rewards program, okay? So this means that at the time, okay, things were rapidly changing with the launch of the VOO app and this partnership with Amadeus, right? So imagine yourself now in 2025. Already you're crypto savvy, you have the opportunity to want to keep your savings in crypto, but you want to pay for a flight in the next 1 hour maximum. You want to take a decision on a flight route you want to follow, okay? So the traditional way, which can be mind-boggling, is that you have your savings in crypto, you have to find an exchange in order to convert it from crypto to fiat currency, You now have to find a way to transfer that fiat currency to your bank account, okay, that is linked to your card in order for you to pay for a flight, okay? While this may sound a little bit easy because I'm saying it, sometimes it may take you 2 hours, 3 hours, depending on a lot of factors, not to also include the fact that you are going to pay some charges that can be exorbitant, right? So you can imagine somebody that has crypto and wants to take a choice, wants to make a choice within an hour. These blockades hinder the person from making that decision, taking that decision at the swipe of his fingers. But what has changed now with the VOO app is that you already have fiat, you can pay for, you have a crypto, you have fiat, you can pay for your flight with any of those options, right? So all those hassles that you have with transferring money, losing charges, and also losing the value of the money, that no longer exists with the VOO app. You can now have two options to make your payment, and this payment can go on seamlessly, okay? So again, we are talking about advantages with partnering with Amadeus, right? So GDS, in a nutshell, can do just more than focusing on flights, okay? So it can provide a lot of information for you that are travel related. So if it's traveling regarding pricing, regarding scheduling of hotels, regarding tour tickets, that is what GDS, that's the power GDS can give, right, to any project that is solving problems for people, especially in the aviation sector, right? So what I've just mentioned may not sound really fantastic, but imagine this in your head right now, okay? We have hotels that we're planning to kickstart sometime this year, right? We're looking at that towards the third quarter, fourth quarter of this year. But because we have already partnered with Amadeus, right? What happened is that the information that we would have had in the next quarter or the last quarter of the year, that information is already here with us. All we require is just a bridge to connect it, which is currently working, right? So think about hotel services, accommodation, scheduling, pricing. All this is going to be available in the VOO Travel app before the end of summer this year, right? Now, how is this amazing? Okay, it's mind-boggling because every single activity that is done on this app not only generates rewards, but if you have a crew and everyone is doing that a single activity on this app, that means it will be generating passive income for you. And how does this work for you? Imagine you have this app and you share it with your friends. Your friends, oh, they love the concept of the app. They love how they can do their bookings, but they are not necessarily people that travel frequently internationally, right? They are not, okay? So you have a lot of friends who have this app, but they travel domestically, okay? And so what you would notice is that even with the introduction of hotels, you see a lot of people traveling locally to want to go to have a nice time out with their families or have a time to relax. They are not traveling internationally, they are traveling locally and they are booking places in hotels, maybe events that have been generated by the information from the GDS provider, right? So if you understand that somebody can stay, especially in a local place like I am in Nigeria, southern Nigeria, and I decide I want to travel to central Nigeria to visit the mountains, okay? And I can do all this booking, whether it's a flight ticket, whether it's the accommodation ticket, or the tour ticket. I can do all this in the VOO app. That means that once you understand this, it's a win-win for everybody. A win for me, a win for you who introduced me to the app, a win for the community at large, and a win for Amadeus, right? So everybody is active, everybody is earning from solutions to a problem. So you can imagine, right? Currently, there are over 700 properties available for reservations around the world, meaning that once the integration is complete, remember I told you that we have something like a bridge, okay, that is being that is going to be completed by the end of summer this year. So once it's completed, that means that there's a possibility that you will have access to over 700,000 hotel bookings, right, on the app. Meaning that if your friend decides to want to travel from London, let's say Edinburgh to somewhere else, maybe central London, or is going to Wales, or is going to Scotland, he wants to do a visit, he can do all this in the app. He may not be traveling internationally, he may be having a local travel, but he's booking a hotel in that place. And of course, if you have the ownership of those hotels in terms of licensee rights to those hotels, of course, there's extra money and rewards to be made from that, right? So basic thing here is that by the end of summer, right, we will have all the benefits for not only booking flights for our friends that are interested in flying, but cashback will be available for people who are also traveling domestically. So if you are building your crew, or if you've not thought about building your crew, now is the right time for you to log into your app, check your referral code, and share it with your friends and family. To go into your app again, I repeat, go into your app again, check your referral code, and share with your friends and family. It is easy. It is free. There's no hassles, because everybody at a certain point in time is definitely going to use this app. Let me take you some years back. So let's say in the past 10 years, you had an opportunity, right, to get a part ownership of Uber. Okay, so the land transportation was just basically undergoing a change, right? Where people in the comfort of their homes, right, for a certain amount of money, can get the benefits of owning a car just for a short time, right? So just imagine I'm home. I don't have access to public transport, because probably it's going to be far, it's rainy, it's muddy, and I have an event to go to, right? Before, it was going to be a challenge for me to meet up with attending that event without getting a little bit of frustration along the way. But I can stay in my home right now, and I can make a booking with Uber. Uber comes for the little comfort for a little price, right? I go to my location or attend my event and come back, and I am satisfied with the service that's provided to me, right? So imagine this is 10 years back. Okay, and imagine the wave that has been created with land transportation, how it has changed over time. So if you're in Nigeria like me, you have Uber, you have Bolt, you have InDrive, you have a lot of apps coming in. What are these apps doing? They're just connecting you to the people who are providing the service, and they earn from it, right? There is technology solving problems. Let us think globally in terms of aviation. The aviation industry alone beats in terms of revenue generation, land transportation, and the pharmaceutical industry put together. So you can imagine people that are flying. You can imagine friends of friends, okay, who you're just introducing this app to for the first time. They may not necessarily be using this app immediately, but you just have this app. And when this app starts to expand in terms of exposure, now you can imagine your friends going, somebody you may not have known that you have given this app about 2-3 months ago, who shared this app with his friend, and their friends are flying and you're earning from it, right? It takes nothing to build your crew, but you benefit from every activity that happens based on the functionality that this app provides, okay? So again, like I said, there is something that has to do with partnership, okay? And so we have a lot in terms of our tours and attractions. So beyond flights, okay, there's also the potential for tickets, tourism, excursions to be generated on the VOO app. So what happens when you log in? And I'll need you to try this out as a personal experience. Once you download your app and log in, you will see a customized message that comes to you telling you about events that you want to travel, like things like, where is your next destination? How would you want your holiday to be like? Look, we have this event in this place. You see all those adverts coming in. What does that mean? It means that, look, you can, from the comfort of your home, again, make your journey, your travel or your experience worth the while. Let us say your holiday worth the while. Okay, so let's say like someone like me that loves football, I want to go watch the Champions League. Okay, and I see that advert on my VOO app. Of course, it means that I have to travel from from the country of Nigeria to wherever it is the cup is being hosted, the finals is being hosted. I have to think about accommodation I need to pay, and then I have to think about flight tickets. But there's an opportunity to get the flight tickets, get the booking, get the hotel right from the app at the cheapest cost without having involving a third party, right? So this is just for football. Imagine people going for movie launches. Imagine people going for gallery events. Imagine people going for any other activities that usually attract people. People want to travel, okay? And so there will be tours and attraction tickets available in the VOO app. And this was originally planned because, of course, we already have the hotels being launched, okay? So again, what it means is that whether your friend is flying to Dubai to visit the Burj Khalifa, or is attending Paris for a paint exhibition, or I am even going to Egypt to see the pyramid, okay? You can do this booking straight from the VOO app. And then think about festivals happening around the globe. Everybody doing their booking from the VOO app. What it means is that you, your friends, your crew, your family, each and every one of you will be earning passive rewards every single time this booking is done. Okay. And so imagine if your friends are also doing the same, or your crew members are doing the same. That means this is passive income coming in every single day. If you've not thought about it, imagine in a city, for example, city of Port Harcourt, imagine you had the opportunity to get in early into Uber, where for every single time somebody makes a booking, an Uber booking in the city of Port Harcourt, you also earn a reward for doing that. You can imagine the volume of bookings that are being done in Port Harcourt alone, because people will go to school, people will go to work, people will go to churches, people will want to have an outing, and people are even doing deliveries right now using the Uber app. So imagine if you had this functionality or you had this opportunity 10 years ago. There is that opportunity right now, okay? And that is just you not only being a user of the app, but also be having ownership of the app, right? And so this comes from the fact that, look, there are hotels available right now where you can own, right, anywhere around the world. There are airports where you can become a licensee of those airports. What it means is that if I am using the app to fly, which of course the app is already paying me for flying, right? If I use the app and I land in an airport that somebody already has, because it's a licensee, that person also earns a certain percentage of my ticket price, right? So in essence, I have gotten my booking at a cheaper rate. I've flown and I'm satisfied, and the person who already owns that airport is receiving passive rewards from me, right? That person currently exists right now, and you too can be an owner or own a license to operate an airport. There are over 5,500 airports in the world right now, and majority of them have already been taken. So you do not want to miss out on that. For every person that makes a booking and from one airport and it terminates in your own airport, you earn a booking from that ticket, whether you know them or you do not know them. The second option, apart from being a user, is that you have hotels, right? Hotels that you can purchase on the VOO app, right? Or on the VOO shop, and then position these hotels in various cities, okay? So you can put a hotel in the city of London, you can put a hotel in Dubai, you can put a hotel in Atlanta. Any of these cities, you can put a hotel around the world, okay? And so anybody that does a hotel accommodation, whether it's one night, whether it's two nights, whether it's three nights, you own a certain percentage of that ticket being paid for that. Imagine people that are traveling every single day. Imagine festivals that are going to be occurring in that city where you put your house, right? You'll be getting paid from it from the comfort of your home, right? So again, not trying to hold us back, but I need you to understand the fact that first, we were having flights on the app, but now we are now expanding beyond hotels to programs, events booking, right? So again, you don't get paid to attend an event if you accept you are a performer or you are an artist. But imagine people that are attending events around the world. Imagine the Oscars. For example, if you are attending the Oscars or somebody else is attending the Oscars and everybody is making their bookings on the VOO app. So you can imagine if you own a hotel where that Oscar program is, if you own accommodations around where that Oscar program is being held, you can imagine the passive rewards that will be generated from this. So just to give you a final example, a typical scenario, you travel from Nigeria to Europe to attend a festive event. With the VOO app, you can use your rewards that have been generated to pay for your flight, pay for your hotel bookings, and also attend your event, right? So whether it is your activity, flight, hotel booking somewhere, there is always something for you to earn, right? And there's that loyalty program that you can share with your friends, okay? So Again, just to let you know, right? If you've not downloaded the app is available for you to download. You can now make your bookings on the app. You fly, you can earn your rewards, right? And that is just you being a passenger. There's also another opportunity where if you have those tokens and you can generate those tokens by having a hub, you are also contributing to fueling the ecosystem that will provide the rewards. What are the options available for you there? You can become a VOO member, a VOO Gold member by having 18 hubs. Okay, it will be minting these tokens every single day for you. These tokens are the tokens in demand that will be used to pay up for the rewards. Okay, so imagine everybody who understands this and are making their bookings on their app or downloading their app and are looking for the rewards. You have the rewards with you. So you can imagine the value of your hubs, okay? I've also spoken to you about opportunities where you're not only a user, but you're also part of the ecosystem by doing what? Getting licenses to operate the airports or the hotels around the world. So as long as as long as these bookings are being done on the app, there's always an opportunity for you to earn potential income. Do not forget that this is an industry that looks towards 2030 to want to be part of a $15 trillion revenue, right? And so 5% of this alone is what VOO needs in order for it to capture the market, right? And so imagine you are part of that 15 trillion. Imagine what comes to you. Just say what just 1% of that. Imagine that coming to you in passive income every single time periodically because people are flying around the world. You're not doing the flying, everyone else is flying, right? So what is required of you is if you've not been a user before, right? Meet with the person that invited you today and ask him, please, I want to download this app. I need your referral code. After all, we're friends. You invited me. And if you have already been part of this and you've not updated your app, please do so. Update your app. Play with the app a bit. See the potential. See the full potential. We had already done a video on how the app works. So you can always ask the person for our recorded videos and we can show that, right? Else, if you are seeing this beyond the fact that you just want to be a user, the other opportunities for you to own VOO hubs, own hotels, own airports is available. The choice is here for each and every one of us. You do not want to miss this opportunity now. 10 years ago, you may have lost it with Uber or Bolt or any other land transportation app that was there. Now is the aviation industry that is currently changing. VOO is disrupting that, and you want to be part of that disruption. Thank you very much, and I'll be available for questions in case anyone has. Okay, I can call on Lorenzo. Just a few thoughts before we close the session today.
Yes, thank you, Coach Itwen. I've enjoyed listening to you again, and it's always exciting for me personally when I get a chance to to listen to the VOO opportunity. It promises a whole lot, and I'm glad that I saw this opportunity some years back and recognized it for what it is. So anybody listening to this, I want you to think about three things. One, like Itwen said, if you were called when Uber was starting, sometime in 2010 or 2009, if I remember correctly, would you have come? Today, if you did take that decision, I wasn't aware at the time myself, but if you did take that decision then, what you were buying for about 10 cents, then for one Uber, less than $1 for one Uber share, is today selling for between $70 and $80 the last time I checked, one Uber share. So you can see the level of capital appreciation in a period of about 14, 15 years. That is a taxi, very small market compared to aviation. So today we are talking about aviation. From Austria, VOO is revolutionizing the entire world, regulated by MICA, the regulator for this kind of business, for the continent of Europe. And VOO is a product of Lufthansa, a competition Lufthansa sponsored in 2018. So you can see where the world is headed. And so you have a choice to play small, which is just be a crew member, invite your friends and family with your referral link. So that anytime you guys travel, you get a rebate and you get a commission from your friends. For me, I think the ultimate is to be a VOO Gold member. The one Itwen talked about 18 hubs. One hub is selling for less than 2,000 euro as we speak. So 18 hubs will give you a slot in the global pool of only 500 persons. These 500 persons collectively share 1% of each and every ticket that was ever bought through VOO. That's huge, my friends. Only 500 people in the whole world. The world is about 8 billion people. And the aviation is doing like Itwen said, about 1 trillion turnover. So for me, these are my thoughts for anybody looking at this for the first time. Wouldn't you rather share each time people travel, you get a commission? That's the idea. Wouldn't you rather be sleeping while people are traveling every second? Planes are taking off in every international airport I know and dropping almost every minute. How about getting a share of that? People do all kinds of businesses in the crypto industry and the blockchain industry. Some of them are just backed by nothing, absolutely nothing. This one is backed by a product, a service that nobody can ignore. Mobility is one of the characteristics of living things. So I'm very proud of VOO. I'm a proud VOO Gold member already. And I encourage anybody listening to this to ask, how can I be a VOO Gold member? One VOO hub is less than 2,000 euro. You need 18 of that. Either you buy them at once or you buy them one after the other until it is 18. Limited slots only available. About 300 slots are gone as I speak. We have less than 200 left. For the whole world, it's an exclusive deal. And VOO is certainly number one doing this in the aviation industry. So thank you, Itwen, for enlightening us. Guest, is the ball is in your court. All right. And then you don't want to wake up tomorrow and hear that this opportunity is gone. Oh, I heard it too, but I never took action. Take action now, and you'll be glad you did. And one of the ways to take action is to ask for more information. This one was just to whet your appetite. And it's happening live. Registration is very easy. Every other thing is straight to the point. And if you are in doubt, contact one of us, Itwen or Genius Investors or any of the resource persons or through whom you got this video, you get more information. Thank you and see you on the VOO side of life. Over to Itwen.
All right, thanks, Lorenzo, once again. So I'll use this opportunity to invite you. We have this updates every Monday, 8 p.m. Same link that you were invited with. So you can need to save that link in your events, your calendar, so that it gives you the constant notification for you to attend. So see you same time. Thanks everyone for joining. Mr. Lamidi, thank you. And see you same time next week. Bye for me.